an incident occurs and there will be a crisis in your organization, how are your people going to respond? Not just your people on the security team, the whole organization. Get a playbook in place. And honestly, if that playbook is 3 lines, let the CEO know or let top execs know, investigate, finish. That's the start of a playbook. Get something started, get it in place so that you can start communicating that out to employees and make sure that they know where it is so that if they're part of this process, they can get to it. I think second is understand your organization and how they will respond. Jonathan's talked about the people, and that's just an incredible thing to keep in mind. But this is a crisis. An incident occurs and there will be a crisis in your organization. How are your people going to respond? Not just your people on the security team, the whole organization. You don't want the rogue employee who fires off maybe an anonymous email to, pick your publication or pick your website. You want employees to understand that everybody's involved. Everyone's got some sort of role to play. And I think the last thing is, we just talked about it, be as transparent as you can be. I'd love to say be completely transparent, fully transparent. The lawyers, I think, if they're listening, will have a heart attack if they hear that. So be as transparent as you're allowed to be. That's how you're going to build up that trust again with your customers, build it up internally, for people to see, here's what we've done. Here's the process we followed. Here are the improvements we're making. Yes, we know, we identified a lack of X, but here's how we're addressing that. I think that's crucial as part of the IR process.
Well, the first tip is you got to identify your assets, and then classify those assets based on risk level. If you don't know what you have, you can't protect it. So knowing what you have in your environment, what risks may be prevalent to those assets, then you can start creating your playbook. Once you start your playbook, make it simple. There's no need for complexity when it's time for incident response. You don't want people just going all over the place. Just keep it as simple as possible, as long as you're getting the job done with that playbook. I guess a third one, I would say, make sure your IR plan kind of aligns with your COOP, with your BC and your DR plans, because many times when you're having an incident, it's not just going to be a few endpoints that are involved. Sometimes it'll take down your whole operation. We all remember Colonial Pipeline in very recent news. So making sure that you align your plans with the different types of recovery and continuity plans in your organization as well.
So my 3 tips for everyone is, we've talked about the plan, the playbooks and the plan. Number 1, have your plan. Also be prepared that your plan is going to change. When everything hits all at once, you need to be prepared to move and be agile and be prepared to deal with situations as they come up. The other thing, or the second thing, is you need to train as if it was real, because when it's real, you're going to do as you were trained. Now, this is a concept we do in martial arts all the time. You train as if it was real, because you're going to fall back on your training when it's real. You don't have to be creative. You just fall back on your training. And, talking about the transparency thing that John was talking about, one of the things that I got and that I hold dear is don't lie. Whatever you do, don't lie. If you're talking about, when you're doing communications, if you don't know, say that. Say you don't know. Yeah. If you're talking to your leadership and you say you don't know, say it. You don't want to say something and then not be true. You don't want to say something to the community and then not be true, or to the public and not be true. It's always better to say, I don't know, we are finding out. Yeah. There will always be an expectation that you do know, and that's appropriate, but don't ever lie. Always tell the truth. Now, how much of that truth, that's based on what your organizational risk level is and what your general counsel is going to let you do. But my advice is don't ever lie.